Ladies, the world is in trouble. Our circulation is down for the third week in a row.
Mr. Pulitzer, every paper circulation is down since the war ended.
Whoever said war is hell wasn't trying to sell newspapers.
We could use an exciting headline.
What do we get today?
The trolley strike.
That's not exciting.
It's boring. Folks want to know, is the trolley coming or am I walking? No one cares why.
And the strike is about to be settled. Governor Roosevelt just gave some rights to the workers.
That man is a socialist.
Teddy Roosevelt's not a socialist. He's an American hero.
The man wants to outlaw football for being too violent. Football, violent.
You're right. He's not a socialist. He's a commie.
Ladies, please, you're making Nuncio get nervous. And when Nuncio gets nervous, I don't look pretty.
You never liked Roosevelt. You wrote an editorial against him day after day when he ran for governor. And guess what? He got elected.
How can I influence voters if they are not reading my opinion? Which brings us back to the problem at hand. We need to sell more papers. And the way to do that is...
Big photos attract readers?
Do you know what big photo cost?
But without flashy photos or headlines, how are we supposed to sell more papers?
The answer is right before your eyes. You're not thinking this through, ladies. Nuncio knows when he's cutting my hair. Trim a bit here and then trim a bit there. Just a modest adjustment can fatten the bottom line. Shaving is tricky, the razor should flow. Shave me too close and you may cut my throat. It's the simplest solutions that foster the bottom line.
Yes, but how does that help us sell more papers?
We don't sell papers, silly. Newsies sell papers.
Exactly, silly. Newsies sell papers.
I've got it. Well, right now we charge the Newsies 50 cents per 100 papers. But if we raise the price to 60 cents per 100...
Now you're getting somewhere.
A mere tenth of a penny per paper.
Yes, every single newsie will have to sell 10 more papers just to earn the same amount as always.
My thought exactly is genius.
It's gonna be awfully rough on those children.
Nonsense, I'm giving them a real life lesson in economics. I couldn't offer them a better education if they were my own. Give me a week and I'll train them to be like an army that's marching to war. Proud of themselves and so grateful to me, they'll be begging to pay even more. When there's dirt on your shoes, girls, for God's sake, relax. Wipe them up, all we need is some wax. Listen well to these barbershop lessons, for they'll see you through.
When you suck in the muck, you'll be fine. We'll erase any trace of decline. With a tremendously and a shine.
And the power of the press, yes, once again is mine. The price for the Newsies goes up in the morning. Just a few common sense, that's the motto.
Every new mountain is income for you. Thanks to the bottom line.
Oh dear. I read your editorials, Mr. Pulitzer. How can you express so much sympathy for the trolley workers and you have none for the Newsies?
Trolley workers are striking for the contracts. Newsies are striking against me.
I'd spare this embarrassment if I could, but the Bolesky house is private property.
Mr. Mayor, would the fact that this rally is organized by an escaped convict, because enough to shut it down?
An escaped convict.
A fugitive from one of your own institutions. A convicted thief. Mr. Snyder, which one is it?
Jack Kelly.
And how do you know this boy?
It is not a pleasant story. He was sentenced to my refuge for loitering, and his total disregard of authority made him a frequent visitor.
You call him a thief and an escape convict.
After his release, I caught him myself red-handed, trafficking stolen food and clothes. He was last sentenced to 6 months, but the wild ruffian escaped.
So you will be doing the city a service, removing this criminal from our streets.
Well, if that's the case, we can take him in, quietly.
No, I want a public example made of him.
Mr. Pulitzer, the boy, Jack Kelly, is here.
Here?
He's just outside. He asked to see you.
Oh, ask and you shall be received. Mrs. Snyder, if you please. Sit.
Mr. Jack Kelly?
Wow. Afternoon, fellas.
And which Jack Kelly is this? The charismatic union organizer or the escaped convict?
Which one gives us more in common? Hey, I just stopped by with an invite. It seems a few hundred of your employees have been discussing some recent disagreements, and I thought it was fair enough to invite you. State your case, straight to the folks. What do you say, Joe?
You are as shameless and disrespectful creatures, I was told. Do you know what I was doing when I was your age, boy? I was fighting in a war.
Oh, and how did that turn out for you?
It taught me a lesson that shaped my life. You don't win the war in the battlefield. It's the headline that crowns the victory.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind when New York wakes up with front-page photos of Fire Alley.
Not a paper in town will publish a word, and if it's not in the papers, it's never happened.
You may run the city, Joe, but there is some of us who can be bullied.
Ooh, such as that young woman who made you yesterday's news? Talented girl and beautiful as well, don't you think?
Yeah, I'll tell her you said so.
No need, she can hear for herself. Can't you, darling? I trust you know my daughter, Catherine. Yes, my daughter. You're probably asking why doesn't my daughter work for me? Good question. She chose to pursue her career and she was showing real promise until these recent lapse. But you're done with all of that, aren't you, Squeaker?
Jack, I didn't...
Stop.
Mr. Kelly has a playful of his own. Right, Mrs. Snyder?
Hello, Jack.
Jack, allow me to offer a different scenario. If you go to the rally and speak against the strike, you will see your criminal record disappear, and your pockets fill with enough cash to carry you in a first-class train departing from New York to New Mexico and beyond. You did say you wanted to travel west, didn't you?
There ain't no person in this room who don't know you stink.
And if they know me, they know I don't care. Mark my words, boy. Defy me and I have you and every one of your friends locked up in the refuge. I know you're Mr. Tough Guy, but it's not right to condemn that little crippled boy to conditions like that. And what about your pal, Davy, and his baby brother? Ripped from the loving family and locked behind bars. Will they ever be able to thank you enough? Time's running out, kid, so what do you say? Cowboy or convict, I win either way. Your abject surrender was always the bottom line. Gentlemen, escort our guest to the cellar, so he might reflect in solitude. Too bad you know Joe Jack, but you did resign. Too bad you know family, but you can't have mine. Be glad you're alive, boy. I say that's the bottom line. Like the Pied Piper, you knew how to play, till those kids all believed you were right. Lucky for them now, but one got away. They may not be so lucky tonight.
Mr. Pulitzer will have to call you back. He can't talk right now. So sorry, he can't take your call. You have to call you back. now. He'll have to go back.
He's very busy at the moment, and he'll have to call you back.
He can't up right now.
Silent on phones.
The entire city is shut down. No one is working anywhere, and everyone is blaming you.
They're all calling the mayor, the publishers, the manufacturers.
You just come barging here.
You're behind this? We had a deal.
Oh, here's your money back. Guaranteed. Oh, and thanks for your lesson on the power of the press.
Did you read this, boss? This kid's wrote a pretty good paper, very convincing.
Written by my daughter. I demand to know who defame a ban of print and trying material.
Oh, we are your loyal employees. We would never do the business somewhere else.
What? Oh, that old printing press in the cellar. Oh!
I made you the offer of a lifetime. Anyone who does not act in his own self-interest is a fool.
And what does that make you? This all started because you wanted to sell more papes. But since the strike, the circulation's been down by 70%. Why didn't you just come talk to us? Because guys like Joe don't talk to nobody like us. But a very wise reporter once told me, being boss don't mean you got all the answers. Just as smart enough to snatch out the right one when you hear it.
Now is the time to seize the day. Stare down the odds and seize the day. Minute by minute, that's how you win it. We will find a way, but let us seize the day.
Take a look, Pulitzer. We got this surrounded.
New York's closed for business. Paralyzed. You can get a paper or a shoe shine. You can ride an elevator across Brooklyn's bridge. You can't even get out of your own building. So what's your next move?
Mr. Pulitzer, you thought it was here, but you never believe with whom.
Governor Roosevelt?
Joseph. What have you done now?
Sir, wait until you hear me explanation.
Thanks to Miss Millilarkin bringing your daughter to my office, I already have a draft of the situation, graphic illustrations included. Bully would be the correct expression for you. And now, is this the boy of whom we spoke? How are you, son?
The pleasure's mine, Mr. Governor.
Well, come along, Joe. Don't just stand there letting those children sing endlessly. Tell them the good news.
What good news?
That you have come to your senses and will roll back prizes. Unless, of course, you want a whole state investigation of your records.
You wouldn't.
I'd do it with a smile, Joseph. There's only one thing worse than a wooden heart. And that's a soft head. Think of the happiness you would bring to those children. He doesn't do happiness, does he?
Mr. Kelly, may I speak to you alone?
Keep your eyes on the stars and your feet on the ground. You can do this.
I cannot put the price back where it was. I'm sorry I can't.
I get it, Joe. I ain't stupid.
What if I reduce the raise by half and make the others do the same? It's a compromise we cannot live with.
But you eat your losses. From now on, every paper you cannot sell, you buy back full price.
That's never been on the table.
No Newsies will buy papers he cannot sell. But he might sell many, and their circulation will begin to grow. It's a compromise we all can live with.
It's not bad head you've got on your shoulders, kid.
Deal.
That's disgusting.
That's just the price of your business.
The world will know when you keep in score. Either they give us a prize or we give them a war. We've been down too long and we paid our dues. And the things we do today will be tomorrow's news. And the die is cast and the torch is passed and the road will rise. The grass will grow and grow.
May I introduce my very own personal pal, Mr. Theodore Roosevelt.
Each generation must step aside, fight beyond to share the day. I believe the future in your hands will be bright and prosperous. And now, if I may, I have brought another matter today. Officers, if you please.
Gretchen!
How you doing, fellas? Did you miss me? Yeah! And I got a gift for you straight from the refuge. Bring him in, boys.
No way.
It's Snyder, the spider.
Jack! Jack! With those drawings, you make elegant argument for shutting down the refuge. Be assured that Mr. Snyder's abuses will be fully investigated. Officers, take him away.
Your Highness, may I do the honors?
Yeah.
Be my guest.
You gotta be kidding.
Oh, you'll be laughing all the way to the pet.
I've been thinking, if one of your drawings convinced the governor to close down the refuge, what about the daily political cartoon? What do you say, Teddy?
Why not?
No sweat, God. With the strike settled, I shall be probably hitting the road.
Come on, don't you get tired of singing the same old tune? What's something called that New York Ace?
Or better yet, what's New York got that's in a phase?
New York's got us. No family.
Didn't I hear something about the strike being settled?
All right, come on. Babes, for the Newsies.
Come on, Governor. I heard a lot about your parents.
Sure. You're gonna take a look.
Don't just stand there, you got a union to run. Besides, didn't someone just offer you a pretty exciting job?
You mean working for your father?
You already work for my father.
Yeah.
And you got one more ace up your sleeve.
What would that be?
Me? Wherever you go, I'm there right by your side.
For sure.
For sure.
Don't take much to be a dreamer. All you do is close your eyes, and some made-up world is all you'll ever see. Now my eyes is finally open, and my dreams they're average size, but they don't much matter if you ain't with me.
So, Jack, are you in or are you out?